Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson, president of the A Collision with Purpose movement. I am an author and a leadership educator. Welcome back to the Growth Mindset series, where we are learning how to grow beyond limitations and step boldly into our potential. Before we dive into this week's lessons, let us take a moment to remember where we've come from. Growth is not a sprint, it is a journey. And every lesson so far has been preparing you for this next step. So far, we have explored mindset foundations, the science of brain growth, the power of yet, the importance of systems, the role of habits and identity, and how to face failure, feedback, and fear. Now that we understand what growths look like in theory, it is time to move from understanding to application. This week's session is about transforming what we know into what we do. We will unpack 3 essentials that turn potential into progress: effort, practice, and the stretch zone. To begin, I want you to picture something simple: a rubber band. Growth isn't abstract, it is tangible. You can hold it, stretch it, and see change happen before your eyes. When a rubber band sits in a drawer, it never fulfills its purpose. But once stretched, not to the point of breaking, but enough to create tension, it becomes useful. It finds its purpose. Isn't life the same? We resist being stretched, yet it is the stretching that gives us strength and shape. Tension. Tension doesn't signal failure, it signals formation. And that tension, that gentle stretch, always begin with one essential force: effort. If growth had an engine, it would be called effort. Effort is the spark that turns intention into impact. The rubber band teaches us that purpose is revealed through stretch. Likewise, our growth is revealed through effort, through the willingness to try, even when it is not easy. Here's an example. 2 students, 2 mindsets. One avoids effort to protect ego. The other embraces effort to strengthen skill. The difference: one stays safe, the other grows strong. So, when life gets tough and demands more from you, that is not weakness talking. That is your growth signal. Effort isn't proof of inadequacy. It is evidence of movement. Here's something I want you to understand. Effort alone won't take you far if it isn't guided. Effort without direction is like running in circles. Lots of motion, little progress. That is why growth's next companion is practice. Let us talk about practice. An important thing to understand about practice is that not all practice creates progress. You can repeat something for years and never improve if you're doing it the same way. Here's another important thing to understand about practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Whatever you repeat consistently becomes part of who you are. So it is not about how long you practice. It is about how present you are while you're practicing. The same applies to life. Don't just go through the motions. Pause, reflect, make adjustments, and then repeat what you're practicing with purpose. When your effort is guided by focused practice, you begin to enter a new dimension of growth, a space where progress becomes visible, measurable, and deeply personal. That space is called the stretch zone, where growth comes alive. Now, we're stepping into the most powerful part of growth, the stretch zone. This is where your limits meet your potential. Now, understand that when practice becomes deliberate, you naturally push beyond what is easy. That push, that gentle discomfort, is where growth begins. Think of it like three zones of learning: comfort, stretch, and panic. The comfort zone feels safe but grows nothing. The panic zone overwhelms and teaches nothing. But the stretch zone, that is where transformation happens. Each time you lift just a bit more than before, you are growing stronger. It is not about avoiding pressure. It is about choosing the right pressure. Now, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Where have I stayed too comfortable? And what stretch have I been avoiding that could unlock my next level? Now, let us tie everything together. Growth isn't waiting for the right moment. It is about working through the right process. And that process follows a pattern. Effort fuels the journey. Practice refines the journey. And the stretch zone transforms the journey. Stay comfortable and you stay the same. Choose the stretch and you step into who you are meant to become. Some of you might be thinking that this is about motivation. So let us turn motivation into movement. This week, I want you to choose one area in your life where you want to grow. It could be in your academics, your habits, or your mindset. Break it down into one small skill and commit to 3 focused 20-minute sessions. After each session, I want you to ask yourself, what stretched me today? What did I learn? When you track your stretch, you will start seeing growth that others can't see, and you will also feel it. Now, let us pause for a moment. Time for reflection, because growth begins with awareness, and awareness begins with reflection. So now, ask yourself, do I see effort as weakness or as my growth engine? Where am I practicing without focus? What stretch zone could unlock my next breakthrough? As we close today's session, I want you to remember that growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in courage. Every time you stretch, when you put in effort, when you practice with focus, when you lean into discomfort, you are shaping tomorrow's strength. So, welcome effort. It builds capacity. Embrace focus. It sharpens skills. Step into your stretch zone. It reveals who you are becoming. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and thank you for growing with me in the Growth Mindset series. And remember, every stretch today is shaping tomorrow's strength. See you next week.